All right. Good Friday evening, everybody. It's Alex with you for another edition of Weather Aware Live. This one all about the teeth-chattering cold. We're going to briefly talk about some of the nice weather headed in our direction tomorrow. Very similar to what we saw today. High temperatures are going to be back in the upper 60s. Couple places could easily make a run at 70 for tomorrow afternoon, but it's not going to last long. So again, a full breakdown of this is coming up. And again, here on Weather Aware Live tonight, lots to get to. You know, the Arctic blast is just around the corner, and it's going to be our coldest air of the season. We only usually get about 1 to 3 cold spells like this one per winter season. The cutoff is very sharp, and you can see that here on our temperature map as we break this down. This is all across the country, and the Sunbelt states are living up to their name tonight. 50s to 70s, anywhere from L.A., Lower Alabama, and L.A., Los Angeles. Anywhere across the U.S. is still in the southern states, feeling pretty good tonight. Anywhere closer to Corpus Christi at about 75, but look up to the north, and that is where the cold is at tonight. Parts of Minnesota are feeling like negative temperatures. Negative wind chills are in place. Temperatures right at 0 in northern Minnesota this evening. Same could be said in parts of Montana and North Dakota. So it's headed down this way. Not that quite cold, but the cold that we don't very like much. And that's what's going to be moving in as well. So let's break down the weekend real quick. Again, Saturday, temperatures in the upper 60s. Not bad at all. I think tomorrow high temperatures realistically are going to make it to 70 in a couple spots. Here's the breakdown of the high temperature map for Saturday afternoon. We've got more of a southerly flow that's taking shape, and whenever you get a south wind, it can do some wonders. And I think a couple spots again, right at about 68 to 69 degrees. Going to feel really good tomorrow afternoon, and the clouds are going to hold off until the nighttime hours, past about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. So looking good for Saturday. Anything outdoors, you probably want to do it then. Sunday's not going to feel really good. You know, we were looking out earlier this week thinking, we might could have both days this weekend feeling nice. That forecast has altered quite a bit, and now it's looking like we are going to see the cold air moving in on Sunday. So let's break this down on the Futurecast. How does this shake out going into Saturday night? Well, the clouds are going to hold off until we get to about 6, 7 o'clock Saturday evening. The rain's going to hold off until late Saturday night. We're talking past 10 o'clock. Most of this is going to get here around midnight, and it's going to just be some drizzle to a few light showers. So the window for rain anywhere from about 10 p.m. to about 7 a.m. Sunday. And you'll see it there. The few light showers that we do get going to produce a few hundredths of an inch of rain south of I-20. That's about it. So a few early showers Sunday morning. That quickly clears out. Sunday at lunchtime, we're sunny. And then look at these temperatures. Right in about the upper 40s and low 50s in most locations, but factor this in as the wind chill. 39 is what it's going to feel like in Edgefield by about 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. So the cold's already getting a head start. And then look what happens as we head into Sunday at about 5 o'clock. Those wind chill values already in the 20s and the 30s. And then don't look now, 7 to 8 o'clock, some places already feeling like 17 to 18 degrees in Edgefield and McCormick. Low 20s along I-20 and some upper 20s south of I-20. Then as we get to the overnight, this is when the blistering cold arrives. This is that cold that we've talked about. Just doesn't happen a lot around here. 17 to 18 degree wind chills in some spots. The worst of it is going to be around 14 to 15. So again, this is the pipe bursting cold as well. Go ahead and make those simple precautions just to get ahead of the game, right? Finding a place warm for the pets to sleep. Any plants that you don't want to get killed in this hard freeze, bring them inside or protect them. Take those measures. And then as for the pipes, you know your property better than anybody, right? So if you have seen your pipes burst in this type of cold, when it snowed in January, or maybe when it's had some cold spells like December of 2022, we've seen this before. We're no strangers to it. Just go ahead and make those precautions. Insulate your pipes by the time we get to Sunday, because Monday is going to be a blistering cold day, and the best way to beat this cold is just to hibernate. You know, we're under an extreme cold watch That's just a big old fancy way of saying just limit your time outside. If you are not covering up your ears, nose, all the extremities, you need to wear the boggin for the head, things like that. It can get out of hand pretty quickly. We're talking about frostbite. We're talking about hypothermia if you were out there in shorts and a T-shirt for a few hours. That's for sure. But Monday and Tuesday morning, again, both right at about 20 degrees. Wind chills going to be in the 10s and not going to feel the best out there. Peak wind chill Monday morning, again, in that ballpark of about 14 to 15 degrees. Then we get to Monday or Tuesday morning, and it's going to be more of the same, wind chills in the 10s. So, again, this is what you need to be aware of going into Monday and Tuesday. Past that, it gets better. It gets a whole lot better. And, in fact, we are going to start to warm up a pretty good amount once we get into this 7-day forecast here. So, Tuesday, highs in the mid-50s. Not that bad. Again, this cold is nothing that we haven't seen before, but you just need to insulate your pipes just to prevent some pipes bursting, especially if you know that your plumbing has been susceptible in the past. Look at Wednesday and Thursday next week. Feeling pretty good, and we'll take that every chance we can. Low 60s Wednesday, low 70s potentially on Thursday. The jet stream pattern that's moving in is very favorable because the jet stream is going to lift to the north. So we're about to get a warm jet stream. And that means, it's going to relax a little bit. The pattern is going to relax. And so we're going to get several days that are above average for this time of year. We're talking upper 60s. I easily think some low 70s will be on the board at some point in the back half of the month, and we could have multiple days like that. So it gets warmer. It is not going to stay cold for long. We're talking about, I would say, a give or take 48-hour stretch of cold weather. It gets out of the way, and we're left behind with the good stuff to finish next week. So, again, nothing that we haven't seen before. Just wanted to get you ready for what is going to be a blistering round of cold here on the next couple of days. So I hope you guys have a safe weekend. Enjoy. Lots of good things to come ahead on Fox City 4 News tonight at 6:30, 10, and 11. We hope you join us then. We'll be breaking down this cold. Meteorologist Melinda Ball is going to have an update on Sunday as well, and we'll keep a close track of this as we head into the next few days. Stay safe, have a great weekend, and stay warm. We'll see you first thing Sunday as well, and we'll see you tonight on our newscast at 6:30, 10, and 11.